Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching our video. I am Starlene Brighter with Linda Berry. Today, we're going to be talking about a few different things. The sun is opposite of Pluto, and that happens this week, along with the moon and the new moon in Cancer that happened already. But we're going to talk about why we want to talk about it now and how it's related to the sun opposite Pluto. And we're also going to get into a little bit of stuff about something that's non-vibrational astrology related, but we think you'll really like it and will help you progress as you move through these energies that are present astrologically. So Linda, thank you so much again for being my partner in this. I'm so excited to be doing another video with you.
I'm just so excited to be here, Starlene, and thank you.
Yeah, it's a great joy. So let's dig right in. Why don't you share your screen with the sun opposite Pluto chart? Okay.
There we go.
There. Okay, so we're looking at the sun opposite Pluto chart. And so forgive me, but I can't see. It's a little bit too small for me, but that's okay. I'm sure in the video it will come
out fine. Okay. The thing that we're looking at here in this initial chart, first you can see the sun and Pluto with a red line exactly opposite each other. The active aspects for Sun Pluto are in some of the other vibrations. Mm-hmm. However, we've got two very interesting quincunxes here. This Venus-Pluto quincunx speaks to the energy of attraction, the attraction to beauty, being really being important right now, really being focused with Venus-Pluto. And the Mars quincunx Neptune shows that actions are needing to move into the realm of Neptune, which would be into working with one's dreams, one's vision, with an absolutely magical experience of the world. So these are the two things that are suggested in the natal chart. The natal chart is just part of the energy, because we know in vibrational astrology that the lower vibrations are strong factors in the process. I'm wondering, Starlene, and even though I'm sharing my screen, if you would, I don't know if you're set up so that you could bring up a copy of the chart so you could see it also and be able to comment on it.
Yeah, I actually am doing that right now. Great. So what time does the actual Sun Pluto opposition happen on the 17th?
It happens on Saturday the 17th at 6:46 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
6:46 p.m.
Right, okay. In the evening.
Yep.
Early evening, but.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just pulling that up. I will tell you one thing. I always think about that Pluto and Venus energy together. It can be really difficult sometimes because we get so pressured by Pluto, and it can be sometimes somewhat like very hard to move through that, and to if we're like, we can sometimes get compulsive or driven about something that we love, that we feel really attracted to. So I think because of the way this is set up, it's really important to keep that in the back of your mind if you're seeing yourself go down one of those rabbit holes of, like, you know, obsessing or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, it could be in a good way, right? Like, so I really love gardening or something, and I'm really getting into my garden. That's one way to express it, but it could be expressed in an unhealthy way too, like obsessing over someone or something like that. So it's always good to keep that in the back of your mind when we're going through this kind of energy that's really prominent right now.
That's great. I think this is about, with the quincunx here, this is about facing our attractions, in a sense, evaluating which ones are really right for us and letting go of the others.
Right. And I think that speaks so much to what's been going on with everybody at this moment. Like, I mean, all the clients I know, we both work with clients a lot, but with all the clients that I've been working with, that's like one of the things that people have been coming to that point where it's like, it's either a continuation or a letting go, and actually coming to that awakening and realization that letting go is probably a healthier move, and everybody is different, but we're all in different places of it. But definitely this is presenting itself to be able to allow us to see that, is it functionally working for us or not? And I think that's what the quincunxes are saying to us.
And we'll talk later on in this video about how letting go is critical to what's happening right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's so important too, with that Neptune energy coming in there as well. That's also saying, hey, there's something about your dreams that maybe you're needing to put energy to. So that's a good one.
There it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so shall we go to 20?
Sure. Let's go to 20. So harmonic 20 of the sun opposite Pluto. Wow, look at that chart.
Well, they become conjunct because it's an even vibration.
Right. They sure do.
Opposition becomes a conjunction in all the even vibrations. So we see them in one point in 20, opposite Mars, with strong interaction between Mercury and Saturn. The Mars-Saturn is what is most closely aligned with the Sun Pluto. And with Mars-Saturn in 20, first of all, you have to talk about 20. 20 is a drive and a motivation to be creative. To not just creative, it's a drive and a motivation to explore the world and interact with the world around you, the world that is sitting in your lap, so to speak. And go ahead.
Yeah, I think we really do need to be aware of the energy too, because there's a lot of drive and potential, and it's up to us individually on how we want to work with this or not. And obviously, if we have personal planets connecting with these planets during this time, then it will affect us in different ways. But I definitely can see that energy is there. It's just how you direct it is the key part to it.
For real. And one thing to caution people about looking at this 20th vibration and trying to compare it to your personal chart. You can't compare it to your natal chart. You have to pull up your 20th vibration and see how your 20th vibration relates to the sun opposite Pluto. It's 20.
Right. You have to look at both.
Right. So what we've got here is Mars opposite, very strongly related to the sun and Pluto. It's only like 12 minutes away in an opposition that's super, super tight. And so that says that there's going to be an absolute need to take action. The sun Pluto with Jupiter says it's going to be an expansive action. The Saturn tied into them says, now remember, this is about creative exploration. So this becomes exploration to find that which is long lasting, to find the deeper truth or purpose with Saturn here. So this is action, expansive action to find something deep and real. And it's creative. Remember, it's an exploration. It's a creative feeling around to get there. And this is really a message to us. We're going to need to go back to the new moon and talk about it to see why this just Sun-Pluto opposition describes the unfolding of the pattern from the new moon. Shall I go ahead and go to the new moon, Starlene?
Yeah, go ahead and go to the new moon.
Okay, well, here it is. And you can see here the sun and moon exactly conjunct in Cancer, in the 18th degree of Cancer, opposite Pluto. It's not super tight. What's basically happening is Pluto, now it's retrograde, it's moving backwards, but it's very slow. So Pluto is in the 25th degree of Capricorn. Sun is in 18. Sun's going to move. This was on the 9th of July, last Friday. This is Tuesday. This Saturday, the sun will move to where it is exactly opposite Pluto. You can see that it's just moving a short distance here on the chart, but it's going to come into that opposition.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does, okay, that's not what I wanted to say. The one thing to notice about this is this also points out Neptune is focused here with that sun, moon, and Pluto. Again, speaking to this connection into something, a magical expression, a need to express your dreams and ideals with Pluto and Saturn, a passion for doing that thing that really, really connects in and makes life special for you.
Right. And I always think of new moons as, I know this isn't such a vibrational astrology thing, but it is the mark of a new cycle, right? That the new moon is.
And astrology would agree with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we would, but at the same time, it's just not the focus of it.
Right.
But it's a new cycle, and then it's always looking at that new cycle. So looking at the new moon chart, the full moon charts, those are pivotal points for us, right? Because they're opposition and conjunctions, and having this powerful energy that's even coming to fruition a few days later with the opposition of Pluto, and then having the Neptune in there as well during the new moon, is saying that it's time for us to let go of those things that are not serving us, that are not what is meant for the next chapter. And, right. Linda and I were talking about this before. It's like a portal we are walking through. And, once you get to that portal and walk through it, there's no going back. You shift. There's a shift in perception, a paradigm shift, if you will. And I feel like we're all going through this. And, in my own experiences in life since this new moon, and in the people I love that are around me, and my clients, and Linda and people I know have all been feeling this type of shift, and it feels like a little like the ground is shifting beneath us. Even the grounded people feel that way a little bit, which is interesting because usually the grounded people are ones that keep us centered. But I think it's affecting us all, and it's great for all of us to see this and realize that we can just we have to change something in us to make this work for us. Yeah. So I think that it goes back to what our ideals are. What is our ideals? What are our virtues? What's important to us in our own personal little bubble in this world, our own little place in this world.
Given that this is a new moon chart, not a personal chart, this is almost like the ideals of the universe.
Right. I love that.
So,
yeah.
So shall I tell people what happened the next morning to me?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Now, this is not vibrational astrology, but we are going to use vibrational astrology to help us understand it better. The next morning after the new moon, it was on Friday evening. As you can see here, it's 9:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and I'm in the Eastern time zone. So it was like a little after 9 for me. And I did my stuff and went to bed and all that good stuff. I got up the next morning and started working. And I realized something wasn't right. There was something not right about my energy. Well, you need to realize that both Starlene and I have studied and worked with energy extensively. And so I went down inside of me and realized that the energy I'm used to bringing into my life from the universe around me was gone. Now, that may sound strange, but there's been a lot of talk for quite a while about moving from the third density to the fourth density. I wasn't entirely sure what that meant, but it felt like it was right to me. I certainly didn't expect to realize that it had happened. But what basically happened is I realized the morning after the new moon that third density energy was gone. The place where we get it was closed off. It was gone, dead. Not dead, but I mean, no longer available.
Right.
And so I went down inside of myself and I knew that I needed to look for, I found the deeper energy, the fourth density energy, and hooked into it. And after that, I was fine. In fact, I was better than I had been. There's just a form of beauty and connection to it that is just fascinating. And Starlene, when I shared that with you, do you want to share your experience with it?
Oh my gosh. So, Linda and I, like she said, we've been working with energy in different ways, but energy is energy. I use a lot of Reiki. I know she's done energy in different ways than me, but she says to me, why don't you settle into yourself and feel your dantian, the lower chakras, and tell me what you feel. And I did that. I closed my eyes and we were video chatting and I closed my eyes and I was just like, wow, like I could feel what she was talking about. It was like a pool of like emptiness, so to speak. Yeah. It's not that it was devoid. So it was just like, it just was like stillness is a better word. And then all of a sudden I got like this, if you've ever done energy work, I got this shoot of like energy that just went back up my head and tingled, and I opened my eyes because I closed my eyes for a few minutes to kind of check myself, and my whole body was just lit on fire with tingles, like not literally lit on fire, but tingles of like goosebumps, even like my face and my legs and my arms. And I know that's energy moving through me. It felt like a blockage that I had just been unblocked, and then my heart just was like bursting, like like this beautiful feeling of energy that came through me. And it was just like a pure love type energy. It really felt beautiful. And so it felt like I had walked through that portal, and that Linda and I were talking about just a moment ago, that I walked through it and I got to the other side and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. And that was a beautiful experience. And it's cool because Linda can tell me, as someone experienced working with energy, to do something like that and to work with it a little bit yourself. But I know a lot of people aren't versed on energy like when Linda and I are. So I think what is really good is that Linda has decided that she thought it would be a great way to help others, what she did for myself and other people, I assume, to open that gateway for yourself, so to speak. I think that, is an excellent idea for her to share a way to be able to get to that point with yourself. But it's gorgeous, that movement through the chakras in that sense, and moving through and letting go of the stuff, the baggage, everything that we've all, and everybody's collectively collected this over the last year or so. It's just what we've done, right? This is 2020 into 2021. We've all collectively gone through this. So we've all have this energetic baggage.
Keep talking. I've got to leave for just a minute here. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So we all have this energetic baggage that it's really important for us to let go of. So I feel like you know, Linda talking to me and telling me to do some of that inner work was definitely an awakening moment. And I feel like it's really wonderful when she gets back here. I'm going to have her tell you guys about the I don't know what she's calling it, the experience that she wants to share with you guys, so that you guys can also have more clarity on the things that you're holding on to as well. So Linda, do you want to tell us about what's coming up?
Yes. Basically what's happened is a shift that was going on with the earth has been completed, and we're now working with a different energy than we have been. But everybody's used to the old energy. So a lot of people are feeling tired or a little bit disoriented, or just like something's not really right. They don't feel like themselves, that kind of thing. We need to realign to like sink in or calibrate with the energy that is now fundamental to the earth. The plants and the trees and the animals do this automatically because they are so connected in to the earth without the barriers that human beings put up and the habit patterns that human beings establish. And so my sense is to be very, very concerned that people need, and I'm sure I won't be the only one that's offering this, but that people need the opportunity to connect into this and to make the shift. So what I'm going to do, and we'll see what happens, is Saturday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, I'm going to do a fourth density calibration for those that would like to participate in that with me. And I may do some more on some other Saturdays, but for most people, if they can, it would be better to do it sooner rather than later, because this is such a big shift. And so if this is something you want to participate in, then you can go to my website and sign up for it. Now, it's going to be an hour program. I just put down a figure because I didn't know what to put down of $25, but you can change it. You can change it to anything you want, more or less. You can even put it at $0. You do what works for you. This is about getting this to people, helping people to tune in their lives to the new patterns that are currently the reference point, and we don't know how to reference it.
Right.
So this is, if you look at this is the things you see, like in the Pluto pattern here. The Sun Mars opposites, the Sun Pluto opposite Mars with Saturn there, a need to take action or manifest Saturn, to interact with others and to generate this process. So it's interesting how it shows up in both that new moon chart and in the Sun opposite Pluto chart. So I'm going to stop sharing now.
Yeah, I think that the new moon chart was like the catalyst to get it going, and the Sun opposite Pluto is like the opening of the door, so to speak.
Right.
And yeah, I think this is so exciting, Linda. This is going to be really wonderful, and I'm going to share this with as many people as I can, because I really think this will help. How she plans on doing it, it's set up to like she said, donation basis only, and what it will be is a Zoom conference, right? A Zoom conference where you can come and join us.
Right. It will be a Zoom webinar.
A webinar. Okay, thank you.
So that more people can attend than, you won't see everybody's picture like you do when you're in a Zoom meeting. But there's not a limit.
Right, right. Okay. So, and the beautiful thing about this, in my opinion, is that, a lot of people say to me as a vibrational astrologer, and you probably get this too, Linda, is that people are like, I understand these vibrations working in my life. You've explained them to me, but how do I integrate them?
Yeah.
And I think because of the intensity of this Pluto and Sun opposition, and then we're mixing in Neptune and Mars in different ways with the opposition and the new moon. I think this is the perfect opportunity to like actually have that portal open, and for us to be able to say, okay, I'm ready to step over and make my life work better for me. And however that is, and Linda, not my ways, it's with vibrational astrology and growing in that way. But with you, it might be something else. We're all different. But I think no matter what, it's the function of this actual working with this energy in this way will allow you to open those doors for yourself in the way that you need to work with them. So I'm really excited about it and cannot wait to be there.
And what I would say to people is, if you don't feel anything, fine, don't worry about it. But a lot of people are. A lot of people know something is different. That means they need a hand reaching out to jump them over. And that's what we're talking about here. It's just us as human beings sharing with each other, sharing the love of the universe, and helping everybody to hook in, because the energy has changed and we need to find her.
Yep, I totally agree. And it's so important too, if you're feeling a little lost and not sure how to work with this, not sure which direction to go to, that's the person we're talking to. That's the person. Not everybody will be completely lost or something, but if you're feeling that way, this is probably what you need to help point you in the right direction. It may not be like, hey, we're going to give you a fortune telling situation here. No, it's not that. It's you getting alignment with your vibrations and the vibrations of the universe. Because think about it, the universe is a tapestry of energy, right? It is just a tapestry of energy, and we are all intertwined in this tapestry of energy. And we can either work with it, or we can create knots and difficulty for ourselves, and like make it the tapestry, kind of our part of the tapestry kind of hectic. But we don't want to do that. This is working with the vibrations of the universe. And that's what vibrational astrology is. I love how you said earlier, Linda, that, we're showing you the astrology, we're telling you what's going on, and this is how you can help it. Because, it's one thing to know that something is going on, because I can't tell you how many family members and friends that aren't into astrology have said to me in the last couple of days, what is going on? Can you look at the stars? And I'm like so hectic myself, dealing with all kinds of things with my life, that I hadn't had a moment to sit down and look at it. And then talking to you, was like, oh my gosh, no wonder I've been wanting to sit down and just see what's going on. I see it now, so it's not just that the astrology explains life. It's like life is going on, and then you can look at the astrology and go, now I understand it. It goes both ways, so I love it. I think it's going to be an exciting adventure for you, Linda, and I'm so excited to be part of it.
Well, and I want you to be part of it, Starlene, and anybody else who thinks it would benefit them. So definitely. I'm going to share my computer right now to put up my website. You will find information on the front page to sign up for the webinar, so that I can then send you the information connected with how this is going to work and how you can be a part of it on Saturday. I made it as late as I could for West Coast people at 11, because I have other commitments later in the day, but at least it's not the middle of your night. So anyway, you all, love you. Look forward to seeing you on our next video. And if you want to do a fourth density calibration, you've got a chance on Saturday.
Absolutely. I'm going to put the link in the description box to Linda's website, so you can just click that link and go right over there and sign up for the fourth energy calibration if you would like to. And thank you, Linda, again. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll talk to you on the next video.